The names aren't that great. I'll keep going though. Hello, welcome to episode 5. So we're just out for a walk. Let the kids burn off a bit of energy before dinner. Considering that the sun's up till about 10 o'clock at night, may as well at least have dinner a bit later and let them stay up on a Saturday. I think they appreciate it as well. A little bit of fun. So what's happened so far? No, not much. Except it's now my next payment date has come. So 4 weeks ago, obviously I had the first one and I've been figuring out how much I can spend. It went a little bit off the rails, but I was left with what I thought would be about £50 a week. And it was actually slightly higher, which is fine. Fine by me. So now, this time, I'm focusing more on what I know I've got and making sure I don't spend anything else. It's a good experiment. It just takes a long time to figure all this out. So, fingers crossed, all is good. Not only is it too hot today, but guess which little boy decided to leave half a pack of Haribo hidden in a drawer by his computer near an open window? Guess how many ants I've just had to get rid of? Two hours of clearing and hoovering and getting rid of as much as possible, finding ant powder, lacing it all around the window. They found the way out the front door as well, so I've had to lace it all up the hallway. Told the kid not to touch it because it's dangerous. I now have to find out if he's hidden anything anywhere else. I've got 2 drinks because it's hot. Not kidding, it's about 11:45 and it is still 27 degrees in here. Great. Today has been very hot. I think I'm up to about 32 outside, if I read it right. And I thought today is going to be a good day to do some washing. So I did. First thing I did, strip the kids' beds down, bung them in the washing machine, hang them out on the line, get a second load of school clothes in. By the time that's done, the bed stuff's actually dry, so I'm remaking the beds as the second one's on. First lot hanging, second lot hanging out, third lot going on, and I'm remaking the beds, and so on. Today I managed, I think it was 7 loads of various different washing, including towels. So the downside to it is the fact that there is a huge pile behind my phone of clothes. And I've got to fold all that tomorrow, and I'm looking at it, and I am regretting doing so much washing now. But still. And of course, couldn't finish off the evening without a Clara. She decided to get a red felt tip pen and draw on a mustache at about 7:45, bearing in mind she's usually asleep by around 8. Luckily enough, it was only the budget Sharpie, so it did come off, mostly. I'll give it another wash tomorrow, bit of scrub. I'm sure it will be fine, but otherwise sending her into school with a red mustache. Very fun. But I got thinking about all this. Why am I telling you all this stuff? You know, it's just simple single dad stuff. It's not even relative to me. It happens to everyone. You know, kids do something stupid with a bag of sweets, which instantly gets regretted. Well, the morning after anyway. Or, the complaints that happen when I put down a little bit of ant powder to stop them from finding their way in. I say a little. Yeah, plenty. Enough. Or, the kids get out the felt tips. And the point of all of this is it's the same for all of us. We complain. We will complain about stupid things happening and people being stupid, and we enjoy complaining. And then we fix it. We sort it. One way or another, we deal with it. And then we leave it for a bit. And after a length of time, we laugh about it. Because we do. And that's what you're supposed to do. But who do you complain to? Who do you laugh about it with? Every day I find myself more and more wanting to pick up the phone and send a message that I can't send. Or take a picture of something that will never get seen. And it's happening more. It's all part of the process, is what everyone says, and I totally get it. But it doesn't make it easier. But still, I've got you to talk to. And I won't be sleeping tonight because it's just too bloody hot. Oh yeah, info dump. Hi everyone, got a story for you today. The US standard railroad gauge, that's the distance between the rails, is 4 feet 8.5 inches, and that is a very odd number. So why have they used that gauge? Well, that's because that's the way they were built in England, and English engineers designed the first US railroads. So why did the English build them like that? Because the first rail lines were built by the same people who built the wagon tramways, and that's the gauge they used. So why did they use that gauge? Because the people who built the tramways used the same jigs and tools they had for building wagons, which used the same wheel spacings. So why did the wagons have that particular wheel spacing? Well, if they tried to use any other spacing, the wagon wheels would break more often on some of the old long-distance roads in England, because that's the spacing of the wheel ruts. So who built the old rutted roads? Imperial Rome built the first long-distance roads in Europe, including England, for their legions. So these roads have been used ever since. Now, what about the ruts in the roads? Well, Roman war chariots created the initial ruts, and everyone else had to match or run the risk of destroying their wagon wheels. And since the chariots were made for Imperial Rome, they were all alike in the matter of wheel spacing. Therefore, the United States standard railroad gauge of 4 feet 8.5 inches is derived from the original specification for an Imperial Roman war chariot. Bureaucracies really do live forever. So next time you're handed a specification or a procedure and wonder what horse's arse came up with this, you might actually be right. Imperial Roman army chariots were made just wide enough to accommodate the rear ends of 2 war horses. But there is a twist to the story. Now, when you see a space shuttle sitting on its launch pad, there's 2 big booster rockets attached to the sides of the main fuel tank. These are solid rocket boosters, or SRBs. The SRBs are made at a factory in Utah. The engineers who designed them would have preferred them a little bit fatter, but the SRBs had to be shipped by train from the factory to the launch site. The railroad line from the factory happens to run through a tunnel in the mountains, and the SRBs had to fit through that tunnel. The tunnel is slightly wider than the railroad track, and the railroad track, as you know, is as wide as 2 horses behind. So a major space shuttle design feature of what's arguably the world's most advanced transportation system was determined over 2,000 years ago by the width of a horse's arse. Sometimes being at the bottom is important. See you again. I've done that.